Good morning. It's the long weekend and I'm getting ready with some hanging planters and some non-hanging planters for the summer season. I spent most of yesterday digging around the garden and going to garden centers. I got some nice dahlias, which are my favorite, and geraniums and other things to put in some planters. But I'm going to do a hanging basket right now, and I thought I would show you how I put a hanging basket together. Now, obviously it's a hanging basket, so the first thing you want to think about plants that are going to have some flow to them that will come out. You don't want something that's going to go straight up. You want something that's going to vine down over the edges. So I have some wave petunias. This one's just a nice plain white, and that's going to be beautiful. These wave petunias are pretty good too because you do need to deadhead them, but not quite so much as a regular petunia. Also, for a little bit of color and a little bit of interest, just this dark, it's a sweet Georgia black potato vine. So the sweet potato vines are great for any kind of planter. They really fill in the space, and I like this one because it does have a kind of a different color. It's kind of a purplish, and I'm going to pick up on the purple with some of this small alyssum as well. So I have my container ready, and I've just filled it with some potting soil first. I like to use the Miracle-Gro enriched potting mix because it does have fertilizer in it, and it will feed for 3 months on its own without anything additional. And honestly, planting containers is the easiest thing in the world. You want to hold the plant in its garden center pot very close to the soil right at the root and tip it over. These are pretty easy to get out, she says. There we go. It's a little bit dry this morning after sitting here overnight. So you ease it out. Now you have this big piece of root and soil here. You don't really need all that. So you want to pop that off the bottom and just to loosen up the roots a little bit at the bottom. This is going to be the main piece of the planter, so it's going right in the middle. And all I'm doing is making a little bit of an indentation and then pressing that down into the soil, and that is going to root, and that's fine just like that. That's all there is to it. Do the same thing with the sweet potato vine, and I'm just collecting all the dirt from these in a bucket. I mean, I could have put less potting soil in the container itself and then used the soil from these, but this is just how I do it. And again, just make a little place on the side and pop that in there. The thing with containers is the tighter you plant them, the better. And you really just need to push things down into the soil, and they will root. And when they're tighter, they will retain the water better, so they retain the moisture, and you won't have to be watering them quite as much. Now, with this alyssum, it's just a small little cell pack. There's 4 cells. You can see on the bottom, it's not too bad, but you can see roots coming through. First thing you want to do is just pull those off. It's not going to hurt the plant, but it'll make it easier to get them out of the cell packs. When later in the season, if you're buying plants, you may find that some have become very root bound, and then you will absolutely need to do that to get them out of the pot. But I do that first, and with the cell packs you can squeeze, again hold close to the soil, and they're probably, yeah, they all came out together. Rip them apart. You don't need to be gentle with these things. Again, I'm just going to loosen that so that the roots can make good contact with the soil in the container. And a little indentation with my fingers, pop it right in there. Squash. There. Same thing again. Loosen it up. Little indentation. Can you hear my dog whining? I think there's someone out in the playground he wants to play with. And that's it. Now, it doesn't look like a whole bunch right now, but that's going to fill in over the course of the summer. And it'll be a beautiful, we'll have some purple happening around here, some burgundy, and the beautiful white display. And this will all spread, and it'll be really pretty, and it'll be a really nice addition to our patio out here. Obviously, before I hang this up, I'm going to give it some water, and just a little sprinkling with either a shower setting on the hose, or I'll use my watering can, but give it some water and then just keep an eye on it. Planters of any kind of container gardening, you do have to keep a close eye on the moisture. Like I said, if you plant it nice and thick, and I might actually put more alyssum in here as well, if you plant it nice and thick, there's enough coverage of the soil that the moisture will stay in. But do keep an eye on it because planters tend to dry out way more quickly than anything in your actual ground will do. Okay, hope you like it. Hope you got some tips, and we'll talk to you again. Bye.